Call the meeting to order. Airport Special Management Committee. Everybody please stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Back to staff, we have some recognitions.
I do indeed. Good morning, I guess good afternoon. I'm going to start with our Deputy Chief of Police, Carlos Dejaro. Come on down. He's going to share a few thoughts with us to kick us off today.
I'm short, so. All right, good afternoon. Today we recognize the retirement of a remarkable explosive detection canine, Boomer, whose years of dedicated service have safeguarded our community and our teams. With unmatched focus, reliability, and heart, this dog stood ready at every call, bringing security and peace of mind to countless missions. The bond shared with their handler reflects true partnership and trust, a standard every team strives for. As this loyal partner begins a well-earned retirement, we express our deepest gratitude and wish many days filled with rest, play, and joy. A fitting reward for a career defined by courage and commitment. Boomer, thank you for your service.
Thanks, DC. Thanks, John and Boomer, for a long time. And if there's anybody photoed and loved more at the airport, it's probably not John, but the dog. But thank you both for your years of dedication to LCPA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Melissa. Where's Melissa? There, stand up, Melissa. I'd like to congratulate Melissa. She's one of our procurement agents in the finance department, and she has recently received her Certified Public Buyer Certification from the Universal Public Procurement Certification Council. The designation demonstrates that Melissa has met and achieved a high level of professional competency as a buyer in the public and government sector. So congratulations. Henry and Nick. It blends in. There you are, sitting together. Hello, gentlemen. I'd also like to recognize Henry, who's a supervisor in our maintenance contracts, and Nick, who's one of our project administrators in maintenance contracts. They recently both obtained their certified membership from the American Association of Airport Executives. The CM designation is a professional certificate where you have to complete a 180 question examination covering many areas of airport knowledge, including operations, maintenance, safety, administration, and planning. So congratulations to you both on that. Leo, come on up, Leo. Stand up over there. Leo's been standing up all across the state. Started up in Tampa. Leo, who's our crew chief from Page Field Maintenance, he was the recipient of the 2025 Honorary Mark Winkleman Award at the 56th Annual Florida Airports Conference in Tampa. And this award recognizes an airport employee who has demonstrated exemplary service, skill, and aptitude specifically in the field of airport facilities and maintenance. And Leo went up against pretty much every other airport and every other maintenance person. Yes, it's a big deal in the whole state. So congratulations again, Leo. That's what I have.
So, we have any recap items?
No recap items.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on any of the items on the consent agenda? So you can step forward. Not seeing any.
Oh, wait a minute. On the meeting dates for next year, there's a problem with June.
Okay. Go ahead.
They have Tuesday, the ASMC meeting at 9:30, and Thursday, the joint meeting at 1:30. And I think those are reversed.
The times, yeah. The times.
And maybe the dates.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that and we'll
Okay,
circle back.
so revision.
Okay.
But we accept it with
Yeah,
those
do we-
corrections.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I think for proper procedure, go ahead and pull that item, and then you can approve the rest of the balance of the consent, and then we can
Number
come
two.
back to you on number 2.
Fine,
Any items that the,
I'll pull that item.
okay, thank you. Okay, nothing else? Anybody else have an item you want to pull? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make that motion for the balance of the items on the consent
Second.
agenda.
Do we have a second? You got a second? Do we need to call for any public discussion at this time? Okay, any public discussion of the motion? Not seeing any, bring it back. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Moving on to administrative agenda. Brian, number 23.
It's,
Yeah, we have to. Yes, come back.
We'll come back to that. Mr. Chair, if we can come back to the item number 2, the consent, we'll come back to that after the administrative agenda, allow staff to be able to find a fix for the item.
You want a motion for staff to approve, to correct the,
No, we'll,
anybody want to make a motion? To approve the, correct
No, no,
the changes in the.
No, Mr. Chair,
As, well, I'm pretty sure the staff will get it right this time. So I would,
But he needs a motion to authorize staff to
so
make this.
if you, so I have it in front of us, just, you know, if you want to take this one right now. So for June, I believe, sir, it was ASMC is June 2nd and board is June 18th.
and I would move to approve that.
That's how it's listed now, currently.
what about the time?
Yeah, right now
times.
that has ASMC
Times.
on Tuesday. And it should be joint meeting on Tuesday at 9:30.
Right.
And then Thursday, June
Okay.
18th,
Okay.
should
So, yeah.
be the ASMC.
Yeah, we'll flip those times on
And if
get
we
that
make
reset.
that amendment, I would move to approve the minutes, I mean, the schedule.
I'll second.
Meeting.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further comment? Not hearing any, all in favor?
Well,
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
hold on.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, if we could wait for 1 second here.
So hold on. So Vicky, is there,
We changed the meetings in June.
you want to
Correctly aligned to give more time between ASMC and board meetings. So we want to make sure that we can circle back, and make sure that the dates are correct.
yeah, so since this is in June, are we able to approve everything but June and we can bring it back in our next ASMC in December? Or do we do-
We should just
Sorry
go ahead
about
and-
all that.
All right, we'll just pull the item, we'll bring it back.
Okay, okay,
Thanks.
okay. We're all set on that then?
So what you'll need to do is defer the item to a date specific going forward. I believe that our intent is not to have a November ASMC, and so we would ask it to go to the December.
Yes.
All right, I'll move that we defer the item number 2 on the consent agenda until the December ASMC meeting.
Do we hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You all set now?
Yes.
Thank you. Brian?
Good afternoon. Brian McGonigal. The administrative item, it's number 20. This is to confirm and ratify a participating airline agreement with Breeze Aviation. Breeze started here in September of 22, 3 years ago, with 2 markets, Charleston and Vegas. They are now hitting 26, they're going to 26 different destinations. So they've grown quite a bit. They've asked us if they can sign on to the long-term lease. So there'll now be a signatory carrier with 8 other carriers that we have. So this is good news. It's a revenue sharing agreement. It shows their commitment. So there's 9 years left, and we're also going to give them a preferential gate on D9. So this is good news.
Anyone
Any
have
questions?
any questions? Any discussion?
Move approval for that.
Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll move approval of the item.
We have a motion and we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Anyone from the audience wish to comment on the item? Not hearing any, I'll bring it back to the board. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 21, we're requesting approve a lease agreement with Delta Airlines for a passenger lounge. This will be a branded Sky Club, Delta Sky Club Lounge. So it's currently part of Phase 1 expansion. It's being built above, when you enter Concourse C, it's above, it's 10,000 square feet. It's a pretty big lounge. They will pay us a minimum of $1.5 million a year, or the current terminal rental rate. Right now, it's $218. So they'd be paying $2.1 million if it opened today. It will never go below $1.5 million, and they're going to pay us 12% of alcohol sales. So it's a number one carrier, and we're happy to do this, and it's good news. It is, like I said, it's 10,000 square feet. We'll turn the empty shell over to them, and they will furnish the whole thing.
Any questions?
On the way down to Concourse, Charlie Concourse, it's going to go above it. It's being built now.
In Concourse, Charlie?
Yes. Yep, where Delta is, yes.
Any further questions?
Well, I just say, we knew we had arrived, but now we've truly arrived. You know, by having this, and feel very blessed that Delta is willing to invest in this much, and just puts us up there
Yeah.
even higher. So great job, whoever brought this about in discussion. So good job.
It's a good lease, yeah. Delta passengers have been asking for years, right, Carol? So,
Good.
Any further questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Brian, is the rent, the $1.5 million base, does that include if they sell liquor, or do we get that base plus liquor?
Plus, yeah. The 1.5 million is 150 dollars per square foot. It will never go less than that, plus 12%.
Good job.
Yeah. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion from anyone in the public? Not seeing any, we bring it back to the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 22 is approving a piggyback contract between Carasoft Technology and AeroCloud. AeroCloud, this is what we're doing here. This is for the processing of our passengers. Right now, we use 3 separate software platforms to process passengers. One of them is called Ease. This is where at the gate where they scan your tickets. The other software is called FIDS. These are the display monitors that shows your flight. And the third one that you don't see is OAG. That's the flight information feeds that we get from the airlines. Those 3 platforms are going out of, they're approaching end of life. By next year, one of them won't be supported anymore. So what we're recommending is replace it with AeroCloud. That's what this item is. AeroCloud, it's a cloud-based solution that will replace all 3 of those into one system. We've been beta testing. Our IT guys are doing a great job, and they've been testing it down at the gate, and I saw a couple of demos, and the airlines love it. So it's actually quicker. It's a 4-year agreement, 1.4 million with 5% contingency. And that's it. If you have any questions.
Any questions for Brian? Entertain a motion.
Move the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion from anyone in the public regarding this issue? Not seeing any, we bring back the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 23, we're recommending that you rank proposals submitted for RFP 26001 for an identity and access management system. This is a system that in our badging office where we get our badges, those badging officers, they do a great job. They issue about 6,000 badges a year. It's a very antiquated system that we have down there. It's a lot of paper. We went out in the street in July a few months ago to get an off-the-shelf system that's airport-specific to process these badges. We got two proposals, one from Birdie and one from Tadera. They both met the minimum qualifications. Staff met. Tadera rose to the top, though. It's a turnkey solution. It's 1.3 million over 5 years. Everything's included, software, hardware, turnkey, like I said. What we're recommending, ASMC, is that you don't hear oral presentations and you go with staff recommendations with Tadera. We'll bring it back later with the contract. Of course, it's at your discretion. If you do want to hear presentations, we'll bring it back at a later time. That's our
Questions for
recommendation.
Brian? No questions? Go ahead.
Brian, I just want to clarify something. Obviously, we have, with all the work being done, this is credentialing for anybody that needs to be within the airport. Correct?
Right, anyone that
Okay.
needs badging access, yes, including employees. So
Right.
they renew 4,400 badges every year on their own, plus all the contractors. That's another 3,000 badges a year. So they're a busy office. This will streamline it big time.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, second.
I'll
Second.
second
We have
that.
a motion to have a second. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this item? Not seeing any, bring it back to board. Any further discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. For the record, Emily Underhill. For item number 24, the Port Authority's Mitigation Park property provides mitigation lands to offset wetland and listed species habitat impacts that resulted from the original construction of the Midfield Terminal Complex. The entire Mitigation Park property totals 7,000 acres plus or minus and is located approximately 5 miles southeast of RSW. Mitigation Park is the headwaters of the Corkscrew Regional Ecosystem Watershed, or CREW, and contains the largest freshwater marsh in Lee County. In addition, it is a critical flowway and groundwater recharge area. It is an environmental asset to all of Lee County. The Port Authority is required to perform land management activities at Mitigation Park according to the terms of the special conditions described in our South Florida Water Management District and our Army Corps of Engineer permits. One of the required land management activities includes exotic and nuisance vegetation species control, as well as maintenance of the property's 15 miles of perimeter fence, signage in perpetuity. To perform this work for the upcoming fiscal year, the Port Authority's CM OAK has competitively bid all work to provide the needed fence repairs, trail maintenance, as well as treatment of exotic and nuisance species within the Imperial Marsh South and North areas, as well as in Site H. Staff recommends execution of a contract amendment with OAK in the amount of $2,224,451.32 to conduct fence, trail signage improvements and treatment of exotic species within Airport Mitigation Park. And we're also seeking approval of a total project budget in the amount of $2,727,065.89. And thirdly, authorize the executive director or designee to execute any associated documents and contract renewals, extensions, or options if it is in the best interest of the Lee County Port Authority. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Emily?
We're looking basically at $5 million, is that right?
No, 2.7.
2.7 total.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Any further questions? I entertain a motion on the item. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any public comment on this item? No public comment. At this time, we'll bring it back to the board. Any further discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.
For item number 25, this item is related to the previous item. Under this contract amendment, Passarella and Associates will work cooperatively with the CM OAK to determine that the environmental elements of the fence trail maintenance and initial and follow-up treatment of exotic and nuisance species are completed successfully and pursuant to the contract documents. During and after the fence trail maintenance and initial and follow-up treatment of exotic species being conducted by the Port Authority CM, the environmental consultant will conduct field inspections to verify the extent of the maintenance and treatment areas, identify any treatments that are not meeting technical specs, and verify when the treatments are successfully completed. This task ensures that the treatments are conducted in compliance with the bid documents and required permit conditions. Staff asks that the Special Management Committee endorse the contract amendment in the amount of $267,940, which provides for the technical oversight of these land management activities.
Any questions? I have a question, Emily. What happens if Passarella, when they're doing their inspection of the work that's being done by Oak, they find that there have been violations? What happens then?
Well, then they would ask OAK to remedy those
So
situations.
Contract calls for them to remedy anything that defects that.
Sure,
Passarella points
yeah,
out.
yes, yeah. I mean, they'll assist in a substantial completion inspection, identify any, punch list items, and then the contract will be required to make those corrections.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
for that. Do I have a motion for the item?
So
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any public comment on this item? Not seeing any public comment. All in favor of the item?
Aye.
Motion carried.
For item number 26, in October 2025, the Port Authority submitted a supplemental grant application to the FAA to secure additional Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, or Airport Terminals Program, ATP funds, to be used towards the construction of passenger boarding bridges under the terminal expansion Phase 2 Concourse E project at RSW. Port Authority staff has been working with FAA staff and anticipates receiving the grant in December of 2025. The FAA has indicated a need for prompt execution of the agreement upon its issuance. Therefore, to accommodate FAA's request, the Executive Director requests authorization to execute any associated documents related to the grant agreement on behalf of the Port Authority. Following the Executive Director's execution, the grant documents will be presented to the Board for ratification and approval.
Any questions? No questions? All in, entertain a motion on the item?
Move the motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. We have a second. Any discussion from anyone from the public? Not hearing any. All in favor of the item? Aye. Motion carried.
For item number 27, this amendment adds $2.5 million in state funds in fiscal year 25-26 to be used towards eligible costs for the Page Field South Quadrant hangars and ramp project. This brings FDOT's participation to date to $10,525,000.
Any questions from the board? Not hearing any. Entertain a motion.
moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any discussion from anyone from the public on this item? Not hearing any. Bring it back. All in favor of the item?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Item number 28, on November 7th, 2024, the board selected a consultant, Schenkel Schultz, to perform design services related to a new consolidated maintenance facility at RSW. We issued a notice to proceed for the design in the middle of September of this year. During the upcoming design period, the Port Authority desires to complement the design team and retain a firm to perform pre-construction activities during the design effort and eventually provide construction management services for the project. To accomplish this, a request for qualifications was advertised on October 29, 2024, for construction manager services to support the RSW Consolidated Maintenance Facility project. At the June 10, 2025 Special Management Committee meeting, the ASMC concurred with staff's scoring of the top 3 firms and randomly drew the following order of presentations to be heard at a subsequent meeting. The order of presentations was number 1, D'Angelo's Diamond Construction LLC, number 2, Stevens Construction, Inc., and number 3, Charles Perry Partners, Inc. So as a result, staff recommends that oral presentations be heard by the shortlisted firms at this Airport Special Management Committee meeting. If you don't have any questions, I would ask Robert Joy from Procurement to come forward to help lead those presentations.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Board. For the record, Robert George, Senior Procurement Manager, Lee County Port Authority. For today's presentations, I'll start with my standard introduction. Lee County Port Authority is placed under lobbying restrictions on potential vendors during active solicitations. During the entire procurement process, all firms, their subcontractors, subconsultants, or agents are placed on notice and are not to contact any Lee County Port Authority board or port commissioners, members, or other port staff. With that said, each firm will be given 10 minutes to present today. They will be given a yellow 2-minute warning. And when the indicator goes to red, please do not continue. With that said, up first today is D'Angelo's Diamond, represented by David Pultz, Josh Willard, and Robert Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
When you're ready, go ahead and proceed.
When we're ready. All right, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Robert Lewis, and I'm one of the principals at D'Angelo's Diamond, and we're going to highlight what makes us the ideal choice for the CM agency project here at Lee County Port Authority. So a little bit more about myself. I've been in construction for over 35 years, 25 of those here in Southwest Florida, and my expertise is really in scheduling and logistics, as well as the agency CM process.
Good afternoon. My name is David Poles. As project executive with D'Angelo's Diamond, I would be your main point of contact throughout the whole project. I've been in the business for 28 years, recently here in Southwest Florida for the last 10 years, and my resume runs from aviation through agency CM type of work. Ingrid is our senior project manager. Due to personal reasons, she could not attend today, but her resume speaks for herself, and she just finished up the Naples Beach Club maintenance facility in Naples.
Good morning, I'm Josh Willard. I'm the Director of Operations for D'Angelo's Diamond here in Southwest Florida. I've been a Southwest Florida resident for over 30 years. 25 of those years have been in construction right here in our backyard. As you can see, I've spent a great deal of time out here at RSW, a couple substantial projects out here, as well as some public projects in the city of Naples and in Cape Coral. I'm going to tell you a little bit about D'Angelo's Diamond today. We're headquartered in Southwest Florida, as I'm sure you all know, right here in Naples. 180 of our team members live right here in Southwest Florida. RSW, one of our most important clients, if not the most important client, is a repeat client for us. We've been here for over almost 30 years now with relationships with all the local permitting agencies and all the local trade partners. Safety is paramount for us. We run a safe project. It's the #1 thing that we do. Our EMR rating is 0.79, which is top notch. Our goal is to get everyone home safely every single day. When it comes to maintenance experience, we've done over 1,200 projects here in Southwest Florida. 50 of those have been warehouses, maintenance facilities, and automotive facilities. The Uline Distribution Center is over 1 million square feet of warehouse, maintenance, and distribution. The Naples Beach Club, we just finished a maintenance facility there comparable to what you're building here. Arthrex is also building a distribution center here shortly that we're going to be taking care of, and we're in pre-construction on right now. The Big Cypress Field Station, very comparable to what you're building here. The gate maintenance facility for Arthrex in Naples. is a project we have under construction right now, and we've done some warehouse and maintenance work for Lee County Schools. While this is not directly an aviation project, it's important to understand your environment. We know aviation very, very well. We know the rules, the regulations, and the procedures that we need to follow. RSW, Air Traffic Control Tower, near and dear to my heart. I was the project executive on that project. We've done a great deal of work for the Punta Gorda Airport, and we just completed the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport terminal expansion. Why does all that matter? All of these things relate directly back to this project. When it comes to maintenance, warehouse, industrial facilities, we've done over $450 million in work. Aviation, we've done over $245 million. When it comes to specialty shops, we've done over 20 projects recently with carpentry, welding, fabrication. Architectural collaboration, we've done over $75 million with Schenkel Schultz. They're one of our most trusted design partners. And when it comes to contracts, we know all of the contracts. We work with all these contracts. This particular contract happens to be set up as an agency CM contract. We're proficient in that, but we can pivot and go to CMGC, CM at risk without a second thought. And with that, I will turn it over to Robert, who leads our initiative when it comes to CM agency projects.
Thanks, Josh. So, acting as your agent, you know, we're really here to be the eyes and ears of the airport, of the Lee County Port Authority. The reason is we understand why y'all are selecting this delivery method so that we can serve as your eyes and ears, make the decisions, and help keep you as informed as possible through transparency. Similar to our normal pre-construction, we work with design teams all the time, just whether we hold those contracts, trade partner agreements, either as a CM agent or it gets transferred to CM at risk. And like I said, the transparency is the key issue here, making sure that we're collaborating with the design team, coordinating with the Port Authority, and then making sure that we're doing the oversights and bringing our experience to the table to keep you as informed as possible. And how do we keep you informed? We do that through a very detailed analytics tracking system that we use with our scheduled dashboards, which you'll see different from other contractors that help us track trends, our project scorecards that keeps track of our finances as we go through the job, and a recap of all the information through our OAC dashboards. And again, there are going to be issues that come up, and how we address those and the efficiency and how quick we can get to those with all the information is how we make this project successful for you.
So selecting agency CM now at this time is so critical because the success of the project really starts during pre-construction. We say 90% of construction costs are determined at this time, and we really have a proven process to make sure that everything's in alignment with budget, the investigation, the site surveys, and everything we do. There's a couple things that we do. Robert mentioned we collaborate very well. There's no silos. Everyone works together, design team, LCPA, and us together to really come together, make sure we control that budget, and overall just have a good pre-construction experience. But really, besides the cost, it's also the timing, and that's the master schedule. And we have developed the master schedule because it's important to track every day in pre-construction, because if you lose a day then, you're losing a day in construction. So we have developed a master schedule here, and you can see the amount of activities that we really develop through pre-construction before you even put a shovel in the ground. And it's divided into a couple parts. First is the design budgeting, and you can see the back and forth between design and what we produce as a budget to make sure the alignment stays consistent. And then procurement is a big part. We know long lead times on materials is the way we're doing business nowadays, to identify those during pre-construction so we can get those on track and track the fabrication. And that's the third item, is the fabrication. Once we actually know what items are, if that's coming from overseas or another part of the country, we want to make sure we're tracking that fabrication time. So when we start construction, that material's on site and ready for us to build. And then finally, the construction and closeout. Ultimately, getting and making sure there's alignment always step by step until the closeout of the job. Bidding is a big part of it. And really what we put together is a proven process during the bidding. We don't just throw the drawings on the street and hope for the best. It's a collaborative process. It's our relationship with the local trade partners here in the community that really has helped us. We have pre-bid meetings, making sure they understand the scope of work and what they're committing to us. We put out comprehensive bid packages with bid instructions so that it's detailed and they understand. And then it's trade partner participation. Those are where our relationships come from, and really engaging them through the bid process to make sure there's alignment. And then ultimately, the bid leveling and scoping. So at that time, when we can come back and present what those trade partners bid on, that we're confident in schedule and safety and logistics, that those numbers include all that scope. Just touching on DBE a little bit, for us, DBE is not just a percentage, it's part of how we do business in the community and our relationship with the subcontractors. And finally, site logistics. As Josh mentioned, safety is so important to us, and it's paramount. And it's really important to set up the site logistics during pre-construction and make sure we understand how we're going to really build the building. And there's really three parts to this. There's access to the site, protecting the safety of the public, and then no impact to airport operations. So you can see a couple things here where we're bringing the construction traffic from Daniels, keeping away from the airport traffic, and then isolating ourselves with our construction fence not to minimize airport operations and also keeping the public safe.
So as I mentioned, RSW is very important to us. I've been working out here since 2012. It's important to me. It's important to our company. Because of that, we're going to work harder for you than anybody. We're going to have the safest project. We're going to have the most quality project. We're going to have the tightest schedule. We're going to bring it in on budget or under budget. But the little bit of extra is that experience. Relationships are extremely important to us. It's what we put at the forefront of our culture. And that experience is what separates us from the rest. And with that, I will turn it over with questions. I think we're a little early.
Any questions?
Yes. I hadn't seen in the write-up what your experience was with Schenkel Schultz, but I then noted on your handout that you have 75 million in collaboration with them. You know, what type of projects were those?
So I was expecting this question. They actually worked on the air traffic control tower with us, as well as Pond. They did LISAR with us, the Punta Gorda terminal expansion back in 2016, as well as St. Peter the Apostle.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, first of all, for the work that's been put in, and obviously you've got experience on other maintenance facilities. I always kind of think about, okay, you're here because you're qualified, and we're looking forward. Having built some of these facilities before, and the fact that we are morphing continually as an airport in every aspect, do you see things that could be incorporated into this that are kind of forward thinking? We need to think about this now, so when it's delivered, it meets the needs going forward. That may be a general question, but
No, there's always room to plan for expansion. That's part of our pre-construction process is looking to the future. So yes, you've got room out there. So there's definitely room to expand on it. You can go upwards, you can go outwards, and there's also room to expand on the existing facilities.
but the guts of what happens in that building, is that continuing to morph, or is that as it goes?
Oh, I understand. I'm sorry.
Yes, we would expect it to.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're gonna go through a programming phase, and as you start to get a better idea with the designers about how
Right.
that space is gonna look, how it's gonna function, then that's where you start looking at what we call good, better, best approaches, to make sure you're getting the full.
Right. That's what I'm always thinking about. Man, we should have thought of that, we should have thought of that.
We actually
Technology advances so fast.
Absolutely. And we actually have a document that we use through pre-construction. We didn't actually put in our slides called Choosing by Advantages. And we actually compare products to make sure what is the most efficient, what's the most cost effective, what's going to be the best long-term solution, what's going to be expandable in the future. So we actually think about that a great deal.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions? Scott?
How does tariffs affect your bid process and your pricing? And who bears the burden of an increased tariff?
That's a great question. It's a little bit unpredictable right now. We haven't seen a whole lot of impact at this point, a little bit with elevators, to be frank. But recently, we haven't had any owners bear any cost of that. We've been able to buy it in and take care of it on the front end and plan for it.
So does that mean also then that if an item has a tariff of 50% on it right now, and that drops to 20%, who benefits from that reduction in tariff?
Well, the client should benefit from that. We should be able to get that money back. That would be the ideal situation.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Do you have any concurrent projects going on with us right now?
No, ma'am.
All complete with everything that you do? involved in?
Correct. Oh, you're correct. We are actually in for the, you're talking about the continuing, yeah, we are in for the continuing service right now, but that's not a project we've been awarded.
Okay.
We have submitted on.
Do you have, I know you have the tower and Tracon building, is that still going on?
No, sir.
That's finished this year?
The demolition is still out there. That's a separate piece, and that has been put on hold
Okay.
of the
and
existing tower.
Do you have any other projects currently going on with the airport?
No, sir.
Thank you.
I'm good. What do you see as your biggest challenge with this project?
The biggest challenge would probably be the wetlands. I wouldn't call that a challenge, but it's always a roadblock, if you will, or a speed bump that has to be worked around. But it's careful planning, and it's not a problem.
So you see any permitting issues there and to fit the building on the site?
No.
Are there any special recommendations that you can make as if you move forward on this project that could improve the utility of the building?
Oh, that's a good question. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's really gonna come down to how you set up the program. You know, once we get that established, the efficiency of the building will really start to play out as we start to talk about how you're gonna be using it and exactly where your best value is gonna be.
And you're going to be designing that interior space also?
We're not.
No,
we're
we'll
gonna
be
working with your design team.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
I think one thing we did talk about was resiliency and how you want to, you can build a maintenance facility. We have done it as just a metal building, but with our climate and the potential for hurricanes, cast in place CMU or precast structure that's better long term. So I think you look at the resiliency and how long that building should last, looking at a 100-year building, and that's something to think about for the design process.
And so the materials you'll be using are rust resistant?
Yeah, if you go with the metal, it would be rust resistant.
Okay.
But that's to be determined during the final design, but just something to think about overall on the resilience of the building.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions from anyone? Not any? Well, thank you very much. Do we have a recap?
Yeah.
You have a recap now?
So what sets us apart? Team continuity. We've been doing this for a lot of years together, our team, and over several projects together. We're CM agency experts. We know how this works. Pre-construction is our strength. We're familiar with RSW and aviation. This is our airport. Our kids fly out of here. We fly out of here. This is where we live. We're a local Southwest Florida builder. We've been here for over 30 years. Or coming up on 30 years, excuse me. We have 180 team members here in Southwest Florida. And like I said, we're maintenance and industrial facility experts, and experience and relationships with local permitting agencies and trade partners are another one of our strengths. We have 2,500 local trade partners and national trade partners that we work with. And it's just something that is very important to us to make sure we spread the wealth and that we have the most qualified people to build your project. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for having us here, and we hope to keep working with you in the future.
Well, thank you for making the presentation. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming in next will be Stevens Construction, Inc., represented by Jay Wolf and Dan Adams. Who's up first? Jay?
Do you?
Yes. All right, and to change screens. Here. Okay, thank you.
You may start when you're ready.
Okay. Thank you. My name's Jay Wolf. I'm the project manager for Stevens Construction, who's going to be leading the team through design, costing, and construction of the consolidated maintenance facility. We're here as part of our continuing efforts to partner with the Lee County Port Authority, and we certainly appreciate this opportunity. A little bit about us. We've been in business for 22 years. We are the only local company presenting today as we're headquartered in and founded here in Lee County. We have 70 employees that have been recently voted one of Southwest Florida's best places to work. We are a 100% construction management firm with offices in Fort Myers and Orlando. We have over $930 million in construction projects, and we have a $200 million bonding capacity. Over the last 5 years, we've completed over 20 warehouse and maintenance facilities, as well as 15 municipality projects. Unfortunately, 0 Lee County projects is what we haven't accomplished, but we'd like to change that today, please. We've assembled a really experienced team. Nick Burkle is our Director of Pre-Construction Services. He leads an exceptional group. He has 23 years of experience. They do a great job of tracking our budgets through the design process and developing and finding value engineering items. Nick has work experience with Schenkel Schultz, as well as our company as a whole. Next, our on-site superintendent will be Jeff Brenderman. Jeff's approaching 40 years of experience. He is knowledgeable in all trades. He's a great communicator, and his attention to detail is unparalleled. Jeff will play an integral part in our constructability reviews throughout the design and through the course of construction. Then there's Dan Adams with 25 years of experience. He's completed over 100 Lee County Port Authority projects. A lot of our company standard operating procedures are based on his experience with the Lee County Port Authority. He's very engaged in our projects, and he'll be a strong influence on this one too. Myself, 34 years of experience. I've been a part of several projects like this locally and in my home state of Indiana. I want to note that Jeff and I both have airport experience. A little bit about our process. We lead the team from design to completion of the project. We work closely with the design team and you as the user to integrate all your functional needs into the design beyond what the RFQ requirements state. We manage all the communications, we steer the project, and we manage the process from start to finish. In the first phase, which is the design phase, there's 3 specific components. In the schematic design phase, we establish our budgets and the overall project schedule. We start to look at construction materials and systems that align with the building functionality, and then we integrate your needs into the design process. Secondly is the design development stage. This is where we would produce our full-blown estimate using our experience and engaging our trade partners. We dive into constructability issues and look for value engineering opportunities. Finally, we move into a full set of completed construction documents, and then after your approval, these would be submitted for permitting, and then will serve as our bid set. We'll continue to review constructability issues, make sure that all the design development items were incorporated, and always looking for value engineering items that sometimes get flushed out in the bid process. The second phase is the permitting and bidding phase. For site development, orders and water management permits, we're seeing about 3 to 6 months. Building permit process takes about 5 to 8, lags behind the civil. Rejections are common on the first round, and then after that, it's typically a 2 to 3 week process for resubmission. In the bid process, we utilize a network of 1,100 subcontractors, so we're provided with multiple qualified bids. At that point, we present a formal presentation to you showing the final cost, which would be completely open book. Our final phase of construction would be the construction phase. We would monitor the overall project schedule, tracking long lead items, verifying that we're on target to hit milestones, and managing the project with short interval schedules. We perform bi-weekly owner and architect contractor meetings to update you on progress. We discuss coordination issues, submittals, RFIs, and then we have a monthly report every month to show you the health of the project. We utilize Procore to manage our drawings, our RFIs, and our schedules, submittals. We have quality checks daily. We provide daily reports, and we upload a lot of photos for documentations. All of the parties would have 24/7 access. Safety is a high priority for our team and our subcontractors. All of us are OSHA certified. We have daily in-house reviews and we have a third-party company that does random inspections. We recently partnered with OSHA out on Sanibel Island for one of our projects. And at the end, with project closeout, we perform our own internal punch list. We try to minimize the amount of items that the architect or design team would need to discover or use the client. We then coordinate, as systems become operational, we coordinate the training and how-to demonstrations for all components of the facility. And then, of course, we provide as-built documents. So a little bit, let's talk about your project. This is going to be a 45,000 square foot, 30-foot high, two-story consolidated maintenance building situated on 4.78 acres. It's going to have equipment parking, covered parking, oversized vehicle parking, fleet and vehicle parking, 12 docking bays, a fabrication and welding shop, and 1,500-gallon fuel tank with pump, dumpster enclosure, and a covered outdoor pavilion. The administrative area is going to have a break room, kitchen, locker room, showers, both large and small conference rooms, meeting room and training room, fitness center, and space for open offices, all within a budget cap of $40 million. This project clearly aligns with what our capabilities are. I want to show you the current one that we've got. Kelly Brothers Inc., just under 27,000 square feet, industrial building with a covered storage area. Our proposed superintendent and I have just finished this project. It's a spot-on match with the RFQ requirements, a double-height structure, 11 bays, admin, office, reception area, restrooms, locker rooms, convenience or conference area. This project also included 2 5-ton cranes. So as you can see, there's a testimonial on every one of these from our clients. So very satisfied. South Florida Emergency Vehicles, just under 19,000 square foot facility. It's, again, another spot-on match with the RFQ. Admin area that includes reception area, restrooms, locker rooms, and break rooms, and another satisfied client. Southwest Waste Services, just under 50,000 square feet, industrial type building, similar in size to this RFQ. Double height with 6 roll-up bays, admin area, office, restrooms, etc. Sam Galloway Ford's another example, 21,000 square feet, 18 roll-up service bays, administrative area, offices, restrooms, all correlate to the RFQ. Coconut Point Ford's another good example, just over 13,000 square feet, double height, 18 roll-up bays, administrative office, restrooms, break room, etc. Again, both of these projects were actually constructed with occupied campus, which made it pretty difficult to achieve. So in addition to that, we're currently working on, we were just awarded by B&I Contractors 3 separate structures that are a spot-on match with this RFQ. Jeff Brenderman, our proposed superintendent here, is leading the construction of these projects right now. One of them is a 40,000 square foot building. The second is a 12,000 square foot building, and then another 40,000 square foot addition. All 3 projects, as I mentioned, are under construction, and we were just honored that B&I selected us out of all the other local contractors in the area. So, all of these projects, they represent our capabilities and our expertise. So with that, I'll invite any questions. And
Are there any questions?
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Go ahead. I do. Yeah, any questions? Scott?
Yeah, sorry. I'll ask a question I asked another proposer. What about tariffs? If you bid a project, say for $100, you get a 50% tariff that goes to 70% tariff. Who's responsible for that? 20%?
Tariffs so far, we're members of a peer group. I'm Dan Adams, for the record, Executive Vice President. We're members of a peer group from across the nation of 8 other general contractors, and thus far, tariffs have really not affected any of us. We just had a meeting a couple weeks ago. Truly haven't been affected by them yet. If in the midst of a project, the tariffs were to affect us and have some component of the building, a pre-engineered metal building, the steel, for example, we would allocate through the design process. We'd be working closely with your design team and you guys as the Port Authority. We would hopefully know if any of those are coming, put a contingency within the project that we'd carry, leave it untouched if not needed, but have a contingency in the budget for said tariffs if they were to happen.
And if something is currently tariffed at 50%, and it reduces to 30%, who gets the benefit of that reduction in the tariff?
Well, if that were the case, we'd try to loop something into our contract with our subcontractors. They seem to always come to us with their hand out when they go up, but it's rare they come to us with when they go down. So we've got all the scary letters when there was first learned about tariffs, but nothing really has come forth so far.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Dan, we talked about materials, we talked about timing, this as well. Your labor pool, I mean, how are you doing with people, availability of people from a timing perspective and all the other things that go into that?
Manpower in our area has always been a concern, and the labor force, but right now we're in pretty good shape. Some things on the residential side have slowed down, and that's been an influx for us. One of the buildings we're building right across the street from our office, the masons, I mean, they were double, triple crewed because they had the people. So that's a good sign right now.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Have you had prior experience with Schenkel Schultz?
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you who may not know, I started my career managing the continuing service project for the Lee County Port Authority. And again, built more than 100 projects for the Lee County Port Authority. Back in that day, over the 8-year tenure, back in that day, that continuing service contract was everything the Port Authority did, basically from changing those pictures out behind you to doing dozens of hangars at Page Fields, doing controlled burns, rehabbing runway 624 in 2005, right after the new midfield terminal opened. So, and during that time, Schenkel Schultz was the continuing service architect. So I worked very closely with them from 2001 to 2009, and had a great experience. With Stevens Construction, we've also been working with them for 20 plus years. Just finished a fire station training facility with them, and we're in design of another fire station.
Okay. And then
Great relationship.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, we have a great relationship with Schenkel Schultz.
Okay. And then I noted, I can't find it now, but one of your major concerns, I think you called it, was wetland mitigation. And I also noted on your pretty large project on B&I contractors that there was not an issue, but you mentioned wetland mitigation. So what do you think your issues or problems would be here? And isn't the, I'll say, project manager on B&I going to be our project manager? Should you get this?
No, it's a different project manager, same superintendent. Jeff Brunnerman, who's here with us, superintendent building B&I, he would be your superintendent on this project.
Okay, so talk to me about wetland management. Why is it such, well, I know why, but how big a concern is it for you?
It's not too big a concern. I mean, if there are wetlands involved in this project, they would just need to be mitigated. B&I had wetlands that had to be mitigated. Gulf Coast Humane Society we're working on right now has wetland issues that need to be mitigated. Yeah, it's just something that would need to be done.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Whose expense?
Well, we would know if it was involved in the project. We'll know ahead of time during your geotech if it needs to be done and be included in the project.
It seems like there's a lot of steel in this building. And so you're saying that, I think I heard you say that tariffs aren't impacting your steel? Where's your steel coming from?
Thus far, we have not been impacted, and neither have the 7 other general contractors from across the country that we're in a peer group with. So that's our number one topic every time we get together twice a year. And thus far, consistently, we haven't been affected.
Do you see the price of steel going down in the future?
If I could predict that, I'd go go to the stock market. But
see any movement in the market?
Yeah, we have in the last Well, all the projects we just went through here, seven projects, all pre-engineered metal buildings, we did not have any effects on them. Sam Galloway Ford, Coconut Point Ford, the Kelly Brother project, right now B&I, which are three large pre-engineered metal buildings. No, and those buildings are scheduled to be delivered.
So you see steel prices being stable over the last several years?
It has for us, from bid day, from the subcontractor to delivery to installation, we haven't had any ups or downs.
What do you see as the biggest challenge in building this building? Are there some different modifications you could recommend to the designer that would improve the efficiency of the building?
Absolutely. One of the first things we do is get involved with Schinkel Schultz, get a hold of it and do constructability reviews throughout the process, make value engineering suggestions. Yeah, I mean, right now I don't have any to spit out to you, but one of the first things we do is get involved with the team and start to review the drawings.
Well, thank you very much. You can wrap up now. And
Yeah, at one point, I think you were concerned about maybe Jeff having some overlap. I think the B&I stuff is going to finish up at the time when this would take off. So that was, all right. Well, thank you. Again, we believe strongly we have an experienced management team and are qualified trade partners and ourselves. We can deliver this. 22 years of experience, local and experienced team, 20 plus warehouses and 15 type municipality projects. Financially strong, $200 million bonding capacity, zero litigation, heavy ownership involvement in all of our process. 90% of our business is from repeat clients. So we develop lasting long relationships, not just through and after construction. That's when we become even closer because we're always checking up on people. But again, our client testimonials speak a lot for themselves. I'd like to see this zero Lee County Port Authority projects change. We'd like to have an opportunity. We're specifically targeting jobs that we know we can do. This is right in our wheelhouse, and I hope we demonstrated that today. Thank you.
thank you very much for your presentation.
We have a little technical issue to address.
Okay.
Thank you.
And rounding out the presentations today will be Charles Perry Partners, Inc. And speaking on behalf will be Jason Morgan, Trent Schwartz, and Wendy Ward.
We ready to begin? All right. So we were fortunate to sit here today and hear a lot of good news. So we got to retire Boomer, which was awesome. 12% surcharge on alcohol, awesome. A new badging system, that's all good news, right? So we got more good news. CPPI is going to show you how we're going to bring value to the Port Authority for your project in the next 10 minutes. We're going to show you that we have a proven local team. We're going to show you that we have a long, successful history with Schinkel Schultz. And we have folks that have worked here in the airport and on airports throughout the state of Florida that don't know how to use the microphone. And then we also have a partnership with Hector Yanez that's going to bring even more value, take us to the next level to be best in class. So here's the agenda. We're going to talk about who we are and then dive right into your project, our understanding and how we're going to build your project, and finish with the CPPI advantage. So a lot of stats up here. What this really means is we're a Florida builder, almost 6 decades of building here in Florida, so we understand the Florida environment. Those circles around the top are some of our clients that we're working with that are your neighbors, so we're looking forward to adding to that list and being your partner on this project. And when you talk about local and needing Quick response time, you can see our office right here in Lee County, just 20 minutes away. So we'll be able to respond quickly. Wendy thinks she can do it in 17 minutes though, so it might be a little less than 20 minutes. And then here's the core team that's going to touch your project through pre-construction, all the way through construction. Again, Wendy being your primary point of contact. In the audience, we got Mark Smith, who will talk about his experience in a moment. And I mentioned we have Hector Yanez as a aviation consultant on our team as well. So here's the core team. I'm Jason Morgan, principal in charge. I'm the guy that will be here for you at that principal level and be here for my team. Trent Swartz is a regional manager for our Fort Myers office, born and raised here in Fort Myers, so knows a lot of people. So if the team has an issue with a vendor or subcontractor or supplier, there's about a 99% chance Trent's going to know someone he can call, fix the issue, and keep the project moving. Wendy Ward will be your project director, your project manager. She's going to manage the day-to-day systems and keep you guys informed throughout the project. And I mentioned Mark Smith has experience at your airport as well, and Hector also in the audience with us. So I talked about Mark Smith and his experience, and you can see up there the pedestrian bridge that he built. He actually built 27 of those pedestrian bridges. So when you talk about knowing your way around the airport, Mark knows his way around the airport, and that's fairly recent experience that he has on your airport.
I had that on Do Not Disturb, sorry.
That's all right. So, and then we know we're consolidating several maintenance spaces. So when you look here, you want a firm that has that experience as well, that understands how to manage that equipment, coordinate that equipment, make sure it's all put in correctly. And here's a few examples of very similar projects of scope and scale to your project. The County Maintenance West project there, the one under construction, that picture is probably just about 3 weeks old. So that's current, relevant data we have when it comes to costing and lessons learned. We can bring that forward to your project. And then I'll brag a little bit more on Wendy. Again, 33 years in the industry, all 33 years here in Florida, 10 years with CPPI, and she'll be your primary point of contact. But the 10 years is important because that gives you confidence she's going to be here from day one all the way through the project to bring full consistency throughout the entire journey. And then a little reference about Wendy. She's 15 minutes away to her house, even closer than her office. And of course, she says she can do it in 13 minutes. And then you can see a reference on a recent project where Wendy was acting in the same capacity she will in your project. And you can see the reference. Project manager was highly effective in all aspects of leading and communicating. And then absolutely one of the best I've worked with. So that's your project manager for this project. And then we also like to be a part of the community we work in, and not just as a company. You can see we support American Heart Association, all the things on the left, but also individually we like to support the communities we work in. Trent's an adjunct professor at FGCU, and you can see these pictures on the right are where he actually brought his students out on a field trip to one of our projects. So looking forward to him bringing his students out for a field trip on this project. And then Schinkel Schultz, you made a great decision to get an architect and a CM firm on early and combine them together. And to get the real value of that, you want a firm that's worked a lot with Schinkel Schultz. We've done 17 projects with Schinkel Schultz over the last 20 years. You can see our offices. We have even grown in similar regions with them. So you select CPPI with Schinkel Schultz, there's no learning curve.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. We understand that the project site has a changed location. That used to be originally, it was just right around the corner, right next door to this field. And due to some environmental constraints, I think it was mainly some wetland issues or some challenges, I should say. We swapped the sites, and now it's going to be right next door to the new public safety building that looks like they just broke ground on. We also understand that the project, the goals are really intended to consolidate all the various departments throughout the airport property and consolidate them into one facility to maximize efficiency. As we were digging through some of the details on these things, we came up with some ideas, like we always try to do, is try to come up with something, with one of them being a service road, possibly connecting, As you'll see here up on the screen, you can see the public safety buildings on the right, maintenance building, the new maintenance facility is going to be on the left. And then we thought about, well, being so close to Airside, let's see if we can't maybe connect these two facilities with maybe a service road. So what would that do? It might provide just a great opportunity to provide a good response time to Airside in case of emergency. So these are just some of the few ideas, and that's what this team will bring to the table, is just ideas and collaboration throughout the process.
If CPPI is selected, I'll immediately jump in with Natalie and her team at Schenkel Schultz in the design coordination process. And throughout the pre-construction phase, there's a lot of different elements, but I'd like to point out that I'll be responsible for the schedule, development of the total project budget, and the bidding process. My job will be to be completely transparent and report every single week to the stakeholders via a common dashboard, so all the parties have up-to-the-minute information on the progress of the project. There'll be no surprises on my watch. As we get into the construction phase, I'll continue working on the Port Authority's behalf, managing quality control, and ultimately assuring a seamless move-in for the important department of this project. We've already thought through the complete build and wanted to share a graphic representation of what the selected facility may look like on the new site, and our idea is to bring the shortest schedule and the lowest cost. We know it may change, but imagine it with me, if you will. What we're showing here is a simple mobilization plan, which normally leans itself towards talking about project safety, but we know that our research on this site that we'll need to bring in approximately 5 feet of fill just to get to this point. That's about 500 dump trucks coming and going, and we know that it's crucial to not impact operations or passenger experience. So we've established a route for construction traffic coming off of Daniels down Chamberlain to Air Cargo Lane, ensuring that there's no impact to Terminal Access Road at any time during the construction process. Here at months 3 and 4, we're performing quality checks in the field, sure that all the work that we've put in place in pre-construction is properly installed in the field, the equipment and services specific to this facility. And at months 5 and 6, you can see the steel is being erected, but there's no crane. We've come up with a system, it's kind of little, you can see it in there, to erect the steel from the inside of the structure so that we don't have to mess with the runway. And at months 7 and 8, the building's dried in and we start welcoming the stakeholders. And at months 9 and 10, construction's wrapping up, and all the time that we've spent coordinating the move-in guarantees no downtime and no interruption for this essential part of the airport.
And this is what your stakeholders and users might see their first day. That we know this is just our vision of it to prepare, but as I close, we want to make sure you understand the value CPPI brings. Local experience. Wendy, one of the best in the business at managing this process. Hector, to get us to that A+ level and bring value to the Port Authority. So with that, we'd love that opportunity to take the project we've already started building and bring that value to you. With that, we'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Any questions?
On time, on budget? I'd like to ask the same question I've asked the other two presenters, and that is, what about tariffs? And how does that enter into the bid process, the pricing process? If tariff goes up, whose responsibility is it? If they go down, who gets the benefit of that?
So great question. What we've been seeing on tariffs is when we put this out to bid, we can know what the tariffs are basically going to be when we buy that product. But what we've done, to your question, is we have the subcontractors put an alternate in their bid and tell us how much they have carried for that tariff. And then we put a little range that if it goes up or down a little bit, it's absorbed by the sub. If it goes down a little bit, they win. But if it goes down a lot, it's money back to the Port Authority. So we're tracking that, being open book with the subs, open book with you, telling you up front at GMP, here's what's included, here's what we see for tariffs for steel or concrete. And then we try to, during the pre-construction and design process, steer Schenkel Schultz and their team away from some of the more volatile products when we can. You know, steel's a necessary evil, but we work pretty hard during that design phase to try to avoid projects we know are going to be volatile.
For Wendy or Trent, I kind of like that idea that that access road, is that shown on here?
You know what? I don't believe that it's shown on the back side of it, but I can share it with you. We can go back.
Just trying to orientate myself. It was
Okay.
an interesting idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, sir. Yep. So there was a little call out box right there. So we're the red kind of scribble area. We're doing some brainstorming.
So it was an interesting idea.
Mhm.
Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
We've heard some good presentations here today, and it's a difficult decision for us to make. Why should we pick CPPI over the other folks that presented here today? What special qualities do you bring to this project?
Well, I think when you look at this project, I agree, 3 great firms presenting today and good competition. But what CPPI has brought is a lot of preparation. You can see the level of thought. We've already built this building in our mind, built it graphically, brought ideas like the road and building it without a crane from the inside to avoid any issues with the FAA. So we've already built this project in our mind, which when it comes time to put this out and bid it and put out scopes of work, we're going to bring the most value both for cost and schedule. And then combining that with a local team, Trent, the regional manager, born and raised here, there's no one more local than Trent, combined with our experience with Schinkel Schultz going back 2 decades, 17 projects, all of similar scale and scope to this one. So no learning curve. And then, of course, we have Hector, our aviation consultant, as well. So a lot of little differentiators that separate CPPI from our competition.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of experience with our design team. Have you, in your past experiences with the design team, run into issues on the design where you've been able to work with the designer to either improve the utility of the building or improve the asset when it's finished?
Absolutely. So Schinkel Schultz is great to work with because they listen, and you guys have made the great choice to get us on fairly early with Schinkel Schultz, and that's where we can affect the most change. So we'll continuously be estimating this, continuously be doing constructability reviews, and we're feeding those items to Schinkel Schultz to make sure they put them in the plans. Hey, we think this detail could be better at the roof, and we'll maybe send them a sketch like you saw on the road there. And Schinkel Schultz great about receiving that information and talking it through with us. So what that does at the end of the day, it takes the unknown out of the documents. We make sure we're covering all the gaps, that there's no scope gaps, so we avoid change orders when we go bid the project. We got a good tight bid. So that collaboration's worked well with Schinkel Schultz over the years.
Any further questions from anyone? Not seeing any, you go ahead and you have a wrap-up period.
Okay, thank you. So as we wrap up, we talk a lot in these presentations about budget and schedule, and CPPI is committed to budget certainty and schedule certainty. We've already started that process in detail, but it's more than just budget and schedule on a project like this. It's about the journey, and CPPI is a firm that wants to take that journey with you and Schinkel Schultz, and we all want to enjoy the journey while we make sure we meet our budget and schedule. And that's who we are. That's our culture, and we'd love the opportunity to work with you guys.
Thank you for your presentation. At this time, we'll go ahead and mark our ballots, and then while we're doing that, and while they're being counted, we'll go ahead and move to item number 29. Rob?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item number 29 is to adopt a resolution amending and restating the Lee County Port Authority personnel policies. Your executive director and your human resources director have spent a lot of time working on the changes here with input from senior staff. I think this new policy manual speaks to the team moving the airport forward as the airport grows and professionalizing and updating the personnel policy. And I know that this is just one step of many that Steve and his team are implementing in reviewing all of the documents that RSW and LCPA has. And so I think this is a good first start in that direction, and ask for you all to move this forward. And if you have any questions, I know that myself and staff are available for any questions you have on it.
Any questions for Rob?
Big undertaking.
Okay, no questions. Call for a motion.
I'll make that motion
Got
for
a
you.
second? Second. Got a motion and a second. Anyone from the audience wish to comment on this item? Not seeing any comments, we'll move it back to board. Any further discussion? Not seeing any. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. At this time, executive director items?
If it's all right with the chair, I'd like to revisit item number 2 real quick.
Yes.
So based on the review of the June 2026 dates, it is correct, staff would like to ask the ASMC to amend the draft as it is, changing the time from Tuesday, June 2nd to 1:30 and Thursday, June 18th to 9:30.
Yes.
And if you want to put forward a motion amending the draft to include that change and then put that forward to the joint board session
Make
on
that
November
motion.
6th.
I entertain a motion to accept the.
I'll make that
the
motion.
changes. We have a motion. We have a second. We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion from anyone in the audience? Not hearing any. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
All right, so a couple quick comments. During September, almost 551,000 passengers traveled through RSW, which was an increase of 5% compared to September of 2024. Year to date, passenger traffic was up slightly at 0.1%. The traffic leader for September was Delta with just over 132,000 passengers. And then rounding out the top 5 was Southwest, American, United, and JetBlue. Over at Page Field, we also have a continuation of their good news. 14,000 flight operations in September, which was a 5% increase compared to a year ago. Thank you.
Thank you for that report. Any additional items, Port Attorney?
Yes, if we can go back to item number 2, can I just say that this is the one, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
No one thought that the schedule would be the bane of our existence today, but it's going to be. Because the ASMC previously deferred the item, part of the motion should be to rescind the deferral to the next meeting and instead vote on it. So, so if we could reopen that number 2.
Who made the motion? Was it me?
Okay, we have a motion to rescind the previous motion. Two
No,
motions
I would
back.
amend the previous motion to rescind the deferral. Correct?
Perfect, yep.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this?
Don't get it.
All,
Please.
bring it back to the board. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Sure, we're good.
All right, here we go.
I just want you to know I read that stuff.
Okay, are we ready for the, we're not ready for the count yet. Any comments from the different board members you'd like to make today?
No, it's just, I stopped by to take a few pictures of the construction going on out there and stuff. It's exciting. Every time I come through, look forward to the end game.
Anybody else want to make some comments on the record?
I got one.
Go ahead.
I wanted to thank our board member, Ray Sandelli, for representing us at the Mike Greenwell Memorial last Saturday, and as a board member and a former county commissioner, and he did us well. Thank you, Ray.
It was an honor. Thanks, Roy.
Thank you. And do we have any public comment on any other items you'd like to bring before the board? Not seeing any. At this time, we'll have the results of the voting.
For RFQ 250025 BW Construction Manager for RSW Consolidated Maintenance Facility, the ASMC has ranked in the following order: Stevens Construction, Inc. in first, CPPT second, DeAngelis Diamond third. With your motion, we'll move forward with negotiations.
Have a motion?
I so move.
We have a motion, we have a second? We have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the item?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
At this time, not hearing any further business, we are now adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Leave your pencils.
Don't steal the pencil.
Hey,